What's going on, my fam sizzles? Welcome to another episode of Behind the Booth with me, DJ iSizzle. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for listening. We're going to get right into today's episode. So, today's episode is things that I do outside of DJing that helps me become even better as a DJ. So, some things would be, for instance, I go to the gym and I work out. I do a light workout. I lift light weights. I get on the treadmill and I go for a walk for about an hour. And I do this every other day. Sometimes avoid the weekends if I can. I just enjoy it. It's a great time for myself. It's a great time to build some endurance up for all the shows that you play in a year. It's more work than you think. You know, you can work a good 15-hour day as a wedding DJ. And during that 15 hours, if you look like you're tired or if you start complaining or look, we're not here for complaints. And this is a wedding. We're here to have a good time. We're here to celebrate love. So that's why I train, at the gym, do my endurance training. So I'll lift some weights so that way I can lift my speakers. I can lift my speakers, no problem. This box right here, you can see it's fully loaded. I have my assistant with me, so she helps me with that as well. But look, I don't want to be all huffing and puffing and sweating it out and being like, man, I should just lift some light weights or do some exercise, you know? So that's something I do. Also, when I'm at the gym, I like to get on the treadmill and I like to listen to podcasts about song creation of famous songs. They deconstruct songs. I love listening to deconstruction, what instruments, what samples they used, what interpolations they used, how many different people worked on the song, which is I always find fascinating because I think a lot of the times we listen to a song and we're like, man, that's an amazing song by that artist. Wow, they're amazing. But you're like, you realize like once you do the research, like, oh, no, there's like 15, 16 to 20 people that helped make that song. So I'm always fascinated by instrumentation, the lyrics, how they're written, just how they created such a great song that I play at weddings. I love playing at weddings, all those kind of things. So I do a lot of that research as I'm walking on the treadmill. It's also great for breathing. It gets a lot more oxygen to your brain. When you DJ, especially live at weddings, like the energy is unreal, but you also have to be able to think fast and you have to be able to like think of songs and names and you have to search them out and you have to load them into the deck and you have to be ready to mix them and quick and you got to talk to people and you got to adjust your lighting, you got to adjust your sound, you got to make sure everything's just right. And if you're not sharp and if you're not constantly like figuring out ways to keep your brain moving and active and quick and always learning and like figuring out like, and I'll also listen to mixes by other DJs. I'll be listening to mixes from all different eras and I'll be like, that's a great song. I forgot about that one. Oh, wow. I really like the way they mixed that. So rather than just walking, gotta walk. Rather than just walking, like I love the idea of like being able to learn and being able to, breathe and get more oxygen into my brain and get more information and knowledge into my brain as I'm walking and I'm helping my endurance. Because when you go to different venues, man, they got stairs. Sometimes the ceremony will be 200, 300 feet that way. The venue will be 100 feet that way. And they'll have 10 flights of stairs you got to go up because they don't have an elevator or it's an old type of venue. So you got to haul all your equipment up those stairs. And sometimes you can't just back into a venue. And sometimes they'll have gravel and sometimes your cart won't be able to get through that gravel. So you just got to carry everything as close as you can get it to the venue, all the way up the stairs. You got to haul it all the way down for the ceremony, up and down. You forget something, you got to go back downstairs, come back up. You're running around, you got to go change. You got to get done all these things. So if you're already fit, you don't got to get fit. No, if you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. That was a song I heard one time and I really like that saying. If you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. So that's kind of the way I look at it. Also, it's just, it really does come down to endurance. And I like going to the gym and I like feeling better about like myself. I always feel better after I go to the gym. I've never been like, gosh, why did I go to the gym today? I'm always like, I'm so glad I went to the gym today. I feel much better now. I don't know why, because maybe I just wasn't sitting all day and I got up and I moved around. I gave myself some movement, built a little endurance, learned some things that I didn't know before about music, learned some new songs. So speaking of music, speaking of songs, I also do Zumba every Wednesday. And if you've never done Zumba or never heard of Zumba, it is basically it's a dance workout. So instead of instead of just like going like this, you're actually doing moves with the music. And what's great about Zumba is the music is so good. There's like, and that's another thing. Like I learn new songs when I go to Zumba. I'm like, wow, I didn't know about this song. I totally forgot about that song. Oh, that's a great song. So you are exercising two songs, which keeps me more flexible, keeps me more like fluid motion. Look, I don't have the best rhythm. That's probably why I'm a DJ. Uh, my assistant, I try to sing a song to be funny. She's always like, you know, you definitely have the voice of a DJ. I don't know about a singer. And I'm always like, okay, I got you. I appreciate you saying that. That was funny. Um, as far as rhythm goes, I mean, I'm not a great dancer, but I can follow and I can watch and I can learn and I can keep and, follow along with what the teacher is doing in the class. And that's something that, I've been doing a little over a year and a half and I absolutely love it. Like at first it was so hard because it was like everybody's moving fast and I'm like, I don't understand any of this. And it's like, I was terrible on my feet. And I'm like, I bet you this is how people like, if they don't dance at weddings, like, maybe they're just more like, I don't understand dancing. I don't really dance because I've tried it. I don't have rhythm and I don't want to embarrass myself or other people. And I get that. And like with Zumba and everything, it's cool because you have a whole class of people. The class I go to, there's usually about 20 different people in there. And you got to learn how to breathe through your nose. You got to breathe through your mouth. You got to drink water. You got to take your breaks. You gotta work yourself up. You gotta work out the fast music, slower music. It really does help me as well, like understand like rhythm, pacing, beats per minute, how easy it is to dance to one song that maybe I had a perception that, oh, this is a great song. Everybody should be dancing to it. And then you try to dance to it and you're like, you know, maybe there's another version of this song, or maybe there's another song that we could play instead of this song, because this is really hard to dance to. So, so that's something that I think outside of just DJing and just showing up and just playing music for people, doing other things outside of that is really helped me become a better DJ. I know endurance wise, um, I can think faster, I can move faster. I can multitask better when it comes to talking to multiple people, whether it be a request and I got to transition a song into the next song. Um, Understanding rhythm, different different genres and their rhythm. Understanding what kind of moves are probably better for a particular genre and era. Like if it's 80s music, you move a little different than it's dance pop music from the 2010s. You're going to move a little different. If it's hip hop from the 2000s, you're going to move a lot different than you are from music from the 2020s and up. So those are some things that like, if you move to the rhythm, you keep yourself like understanding, just different genres of music and how to move to them. I think that really makes you a better DJ. Um, just as well as it's fun to watch other people play music and instruct others how to dance or to hype them or even to motivate them to keep going. Because you DJ, you play songs, but sometimes you got to get on the microphone and say, "Hey, let's move it up a little bit. Let's do this instead of doing that." Or and just understanding like you can create new dance moves and you can help people. Just as far as if I ever do line dancing, I'll incorporate some of that into the set sometimes and just be able to lead a crowd with the line dancing. I love doing that kind of stuff. I know a lot of DJs aren't into that, but that's something that I love to do. So, and then also with, exercising and everything, it helps me vocally deliver better when I do emceeing. When I get up in front of 100 people, introduce a couple, let people know, that it's time to do speeches. It helps me vocalize better. I guess I should say. It's also great for my posture as well, because when you're standing for a couple hours and you're playing music and you're mixing back and forth, it's easy to hunch. And you hunch over, you lose your confidence and you lose your cool, and it doesn't look good on videos and doesn't look good on photos. Um, so those are just a few things that I do outside of DJing that really help me improve myself as a DJ and just the skills and everything like that. So I hope that has been beneficial to you. Maybe you can take some of this knowledge, transfer it into your own life and anything that you're doing. Um, I think one thing I'd like to leave you with too is like the hardest thing is to start something new and to stick with it. So when I first started doing the gym a couple of years ago, it was so hard to get going. And then to stay motivated past like 3 to 4 weeks, it was really difficult. But once I started figuring out what works for me, like as far as putting on a podcast or putting on a new mix, or hey, this is my time, like this is my time to like take care of myself and to really focus in on myself. And I figured, when you improve yourself, you improve others around you. That's something else that I learned. The first few weeks was like, hey, when I improve myself, I improve others around me. You might have some people that say, hey, you don't need to go to the gym, whatever that. And I got a lot of, a lot of feedback from people that I knew. They're like, oh, you're this new guy. Where'd my old friend go? And why are you doing this now? And it's like, well, I have to take care of myself to take care of you. And by doing that, I become a better person. And by becoming a better person, I help you become a better person by you being around me. So, um, nothing wrong with self-improvement. And then as far as the Zumba goes, I tried a bunch of different classes. I tried hip hop. They had yoga there as well. Yoga is really fun, but it's early morning on Sundays, and I'm always DJing Saturday nights late, and it's just really hard to have a couple hours of sleep, get up and try to do yoga. So if it was later in the day on Sunday, or if it was on a different day during the week when I didn't DJ, I would be more than happy to go. But unfortunately, it's just too early on a Sunday morning. But it was really fun when I was doing that, because I had a month or two off, and I would go every Sunday, and I loved it. It was so much fun. And then hip hop was cool, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know if hip hop is my genre to dance to. Um, I definitely learned some different things, but I don't want to be dancing hip hop in front of a crowd of people. It's just not really my thing. I'd rather play it for people and mix all the good stuff together. So, but Zumba for some reason just kind of stuck with me. I like the people that go to Zumba. Um, it's perfect. It's on a Wednesday, middle of the week in the evening. So the schedule just kind of worked out perfect for me. And the instructor's great, man. She's just really like energetic, good flow. I took Pepsi with me on my birthday, and she was just kind of like, whoa, I don't know what's going on here. Like, she doesn't really dance or anything. She's just kind of like, well, it's really fun to watch everybody else. I understand why you like it. She's like, I don't know if it's really my thing, but I really love that you love it. And I can see how it does help you improve as a DJ. And I said, oh, I appreciate that as well. So yeah, anyways, wrapping up, definitely I recommend anybody try something new, whether it be dance or art or some form of expression that you think would help yourself in any job or anything in life that would help you improve yourself to improve others around you. I highly recommend it. All right. DJ iSizzle is what you've been listening to behind the booth. Thank you so much for listening. And if you like this episode, leave a like, leave a comment. And if you got any episodes you like or things you'd like me to talk about in the future, just leave them in the comment section and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.